Hi everybody, Paul McFarland here in kind of a sweaty way. Not my usual business smart casual attire. Outside here in the greater Midwest, we got storms coming and I was out on my bicycle riding in this blistering, sweltering, steam bath boiling pre-storm weather, as maybe you know. And I get it on time. But earlier today I decided what I wanted to talk about. Excuse me. I've talked about in some recent videos about an agency knowing who they are, which also ergo means an agency person knowing who they are. Writer, an art director, do we still have those titles? Whatever you do. And really knowing who you are and being steadfast in that, right? Courageously, right? Well, we'll go through this in more detail sometime, but this was a brochure done in the late 80s. He did called Why I Should Hire Chiat and Why Not. And this thing's falling apart. You might wonder how I got this, but that's a better story left unsaid. There are chapters in here, which are really great. They're like ads after ads. And this was a folder. They had the brochure and they had a pocket for all sorts of goodies they would drop in there from time to time. And I've shown you some of those, but I will show you more of those in the future. This itself will be worth many videos. But the main thing is knowing who you are as an agency, defiantly, courageously, steadfast. Most agencies wither with the winds. If a client wants us, they do that for the money, and before you know it, they're just an ordinary agency. And I really feel for you. But I want to try and light a fire, put a rocket up your ass, and inspire you with this. This is the last chapter, which is called The Final Analysis, Why Yes versus Why Not. It's not that long, so I'm going to read it. It says, all things considered, most major ad agencies are virtually interchangeable. But then the same might also be said of most major clients. See? See why I love these guys? This, in turn, makes most advertising virtually interchangeable, too. Oh, duh, garbage in, garbage out. Plus, pick one. Tired, lazy, dull, stale, predictable, silly, boring. Which leaves a niche open for a sizable and non-interchangeable agency that doesn't hedge its bets. Now, I said this is from the late 80s. Do you understand today? Not a word of this doesn't ring true? Or dish out the usual all things to all clients ad agency ballyhoo. That's where we fit in. And it's where we'll stay. Because our constant aim is simply to be the best there is at producing breakthrough advertising and doing so consistently. In behalf of clients large enough to pay the price media visibility requires. And smart enough to recognize the advantages breakthrough advertising can deliver. Those are the things that got us where we are, and the things that will get us to wherever it is we're going. With however many advertisers decide that our interactive and focused way of working makes sense, however many. With these clients, we'll expect to pay our dues. Absolutely. And in doing so, earn their wholehearted acceptance. Not only as a supplier of advertising, but also as a participant in a coactive sales and marketing partnership. I love that, coactive. Let's bring that word back. From these clients, we anticipate being given a responsibility for making sure that our work works, and also reasonable leeway in producing that work. Hey, we sold it, but the client just wants a couple changes. To these clients, we promise full respect for their people, plans, and products, and that we'll lay our guts on the line in their behalf. Sounds like an excellent prenuptial, doesn't it? It thereby follows that we should expect nothing less of them. Period. At that, we'll rest our case. Except for one final consideration. One final consideration. This is where you really need to pay attention. Fasten your seatbelts. This will scare the living shit out of most people in my industry. Perhaps what you've read so far has left you with a skeptical bias, or feeling that our attitudes lack a requisite degree of subservience. If so, it's likely that our companies simply aren't meant for each other. If, on the other hand, what you've read herein has hit a responsive chord, then you found the real reason for hiring Chiat Day. In which case, it's time that we talk further about your company's own best interests and the interests of the readers and viewers of your advertising as well, because the two of us together could make exciting things happen for them, for you, and for us. Show me an agency today. I can think of maybe one, maybe two, somewhere I don't know of, that defines who they are so clearly and confidently, defines what they're going to do for the world, what they're going to do for any brand that works with them so clearly and delivers it. We need this. We need this. Unabashedly and without any shyness whatsoever, I can tell you that's what I do. When I work with a client, I tell them what they should expect, and I tell them what I expect. We do a partnership, understanding that it takes differentiation or nothing happens, etc., etc., etc. You got to start off on the right foot to finish the race, and so few will make that first step. At this time, in those words, you certainly had enough people at the agency who said, we're going to print that, we're going to distribute it. That's called belief. And why does this matter? Because at the end of the day, if the advertising you do gets ignored, skipped, liked and forgotten, doesn't get understood, doesn't break through, doesn't touch an emotional chord in the human being, every dollar you spent on media, salaries, retainers, and fees, you've wasted. Someone else potentially is going to stand out instead of you. The whole importance of doing breakthrough advertising, and it is advertising, my friends, whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it, as this right here, right now, is advertising, matters. But the problem is too much advertising. In fact, most advertising doesn't matter at all. So who are you? Are you at a shop that challenges you to become more of who you are? Do you operate a shop that believes in only the very, 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 very best, most breakthrough creative? Are you gutsy enough to say you don't want to work with clients no matter how much money they have if they're going to dilute your brand? Those who can do and believe it and fearlessly say it are in the highest atmospheric realm of the legends and the greatest of our business. Speaking for myself, like I said, this is where I learned it many, many years ago, and the fire has just gotten hotter. I don't compromise. They say a principle isn't a principle until it's cost you money. Yeah, I probably said no to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees because it wasn't the work that I wanted to do. But you know what? I can look myself in the mirror and not flinch. Can you?